Hello, Internetians. My name is Josh, a Go Player, and I am your coach of the New Orleans Saints. No, that's what's Wi-Fi. I am your coach of the New Orleans Saint Snow. Welcome to a Bibble week number 9. We are currently 3-5, I think, is what my score is. And if I win, I think I make playoffs, which is really, really cool. So we got to win, etc. We're facing off against Patmac, who's doing significantly better than me. I think it's actually 5-3, so like that's still significant enough. He's not fighting for playoffs. I'm pretty sure he's just guaranteed playoffs. So that's the thing. Regardless, I gotta win if I want to make playoffs. So there's that. As I get into the team, I want to make it really quick. Very, very important. Obviously, I need everyone. I don't need everyone, but I very much appreciate it if anyone liking this, anyone watching this video and likes it. Leave a like and sub to the channel. It looks like about 60% of the people who watch my videos are actually subbed, so it helped me out a lot because I want to get to 500 and ultimately release the 500 surprise, which is the top 10 Josh sets in Draft League. But also, the battle for this video, if you want to see it, it might still be up on Twitch. However, I'm streaming right now. If you want to see my side, my commentary for this game, you need to, or just for Draft League games in general, potentially for the remainder of how Wi-Fi drafts go, you'll have to watch me on Twitch because the battle for this video will be voiceovered, post-commed by OG Albina and Jesse504. So make sure you go check them out in the description below, as well as my good buddy Patmac. He is on his way to 100 subs. He is under the name Gotta Drop Them All. Please go check him out. I was watching his stuff. I like a lot of things he does, specifically short team builders that still make enough sense so you get his game plan, as well as this little like funny little emoji. It was really cool getting to see some of his stuff while I scout him and try and beat his ass. So his team consists of, hopefully I put it on screen when I edit because I actually want to do like real editing. His team consists of Cinderace, Libero, Landorus, Therian, Keldeo, Grimmsnarl, Vikavolt, Stakataka, Miltank, Dragalge, Cloyster, Lurantis, and Lugia. So my team is going to be these 6 here. I'm not bringing my Pheromosa again. I keep not bringing Pheromosa, and I keep winning. So, like, fuck you, Pheromosa, you stupid-ass whore. We have a Life Orb Mew, and the reason why this is in first slot is because I didn't want my Milotic to be in first slot. Milotic is the first thing I thought of. So I'm actually going to start there. My Milotic is Choice Scarf. So I'm going to lead this, and I'm going to hopefully bop the Cinderace turn 1. And if I do, I want Mew there in case he goes into Cloyster. I can hit Cloyster again. I can hit Cloyster with Mew, or I can hit Cloyster with Milotic if I'm locked into a water move after I killed Cinderace, and he tries to set up. I have Life Orb, Vacuum Wave to revenge it. Soft Boil also just in case I didn't really need a last move. Ice Beam for Landorus and the Lugia, and Psychic for Stab. Very strong hitter. Helps me revenge the Cloyster as well as the Stakataka. Like I said, Mew is choice, or Milotic is Choice Scarf. Surf, Flip Turn, Ice Beam, and Recover. I didn't really need a last move, and Recover might be nice if I get knocked off. Competitive for Sticky Web as well as Intimidate. Dialga is Choppleberry. It is Pressure. It is Stealth Rock, Flash Can, Thunderbolt, and Toxic. Best coverage I could think of versus his team. I don't really hit the Vikavolt, but what is Vikavolt going to do to me, and what is it going to do to my later on Roserade? So that's a thing. Gets up rocks, which is really nice. Black Sludge. Roserade, this is here for the Dragalge as well as the Vikavolt. What the hell? Straight up, I didn't like Matt's vid. That's fair. I might figure out a way around the face cam issue. I gotta figure that whole thing out, but this is just gonna be a test run. Poison Point, because I didn't really need the other 2. Spike Synthesis, Energy Ball, and Sludge Bomb. Like I said, it's there for the Vikavolt, kind of the Grimmsnarl. Lurantis, it's definitely there for Keldeo, Dragalge. It kind of helps me with the Miltank. Really good. And I have enough offensive investment so that at +1 special defense with max HP, Keldeo still gets 2 KO by Energy Ball. Violet, Pilot's Line, Toxic Protect, Ice Shard, and EQ. I'm not trying to Toxic Protect stall. They're actually 2 different moves for 2 very different things. Toxic is for stuff like Lugia and Keldeo and stuff, and Protect is so I can potentially outdo a Trick Room turn if I need it. This also helps me with the Stakataka to an extent because it's kind of bulky and I'm like negative speed. And then Moltres is here so I don't get my ass beat by a fucking Lugia, so it kind of switches in on that and kind of helps me beat it, and then let's go play the game. So, let us get into it. Good luck, have fun to Patmac. Once again, make sure you go check them out in the description. Also, again, Owen and Jesse will be taking over from here on the video. Adios.
Hey guys, OJ Albini here, and I'm joined by...
Yo, what's going on, guys? Jesse504 here.
And obviously, we're not Josh, aka Ultra Player, but we're going to be commentating his BBL Week 9 game, a very important game at that. I believe Josh needs to win to make it into playoffs. If you guys do enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like for Josh and sub to his channel. I'm sure he would really appreciate it. And yeah, let's roll into it. I'm sure you guys saw Josh's team builder. We see what... Patmac ended up bringing in the Libero Cinderace, Dragalge, Landorus Therian, Grimmsnarl, Keldeo, and the Vikavolt. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I know Patmac has a Lugia that he benched, and I know he's benched it a couple times, but he still has like a bunch of threats. Like the Web's offense has been successful for him, so it's not like he needs the Lugia, but it's still a Lugia. It's still really nice. I don't know why things like came over it, but I think...
What were you saying? Sorry.
Like what I was going to say. I think Josh is going to just like be able to push a lot of progress with the Milotic because that Lugia isn't there though.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm very interested to see as to how it's going to work out, especially if he can catch that competitive boost. I know Dragalge exists. That's a pretty damn good check to a Milotic, especially an offensive Milotic. But other than that, nothing really appreciates switching in on, is he Surf or Hydro? I know he definitely has Scald, probably.
I think he's Scald, Flip Turn, Ice Beam, Recover.
Okay, so he's Scald. Nothing really appreciates switching in on that, especially if it's at +2 or he nabs a burn on something. It is going to be pretty awesome to see how much damage that really does. Maybe you can catch a Cinderace off guard, and catch a Landorus off guard trying to get a greedy U-turn. So I think that surprise factor is really going to kind of be the key for Josh to win this game. And I know that's kind of a thing in general for Josh, is gaining that surprise factor and really putting himself in a commanding position early on and getting rid of a threat that he typically maybe wouldn't have dealt with in the long term a lot better. So I really think that'll be interesting. Libero Ace looks scary though because he's very offensive on his Milotic. We're going to see a lead Keldeo. And this is an interesting turn because let me know what you think, but I don't know if I would flip turn if I'm Josh.
I think hard switch. Keldeo does look like the hardest mon in the matchup though. But like you do have the Roserade, however like one Air Slash and the Roserade isn't as good as a check anymore.
My biggest thing is I don't really, and he does end up going to the Roserade. The reason you don't want to flip turn there is because if he isn't Scarf Keldeo in this instance, I think it really does. The Poison Point coming up clutch was actually pretty good for the Milotic again offensively. But I don't think you want to reveal that you're Scarf against something like a Keldeo. You keep that surprise factor in the back. We're going to see the Roserade flip turn out, but this does allow a pretty free Libero Cinderace or a free Dragalge, which is also very, very interesting. Because Josh doesn't have a great pivot into this Pokemon, if I'm being completely honest. He elects to get up a Spike here, which will help in that long-term endgame, as Patmac's team really doesn't have that long-term recovery and that survivability outside of something like a Vikavolt, with the team that he brought at the very least. So I can definitely see this, because you definitely won't die to a hit from Dragalge, but he makes himself a lot weaker to Keldeo going forward, is the only scary thing if this thing drops a Draco on him. So we'll see how he ends up kind of dealing with it. The Spike goes up. And what will Patmac do in retaliation? Maybe another flip turn? You see a Dragon
Pulse. Is that 2 KO?
It depends on the set. This is adaptability boosted, but Roserade has all of the Spadef. So it's gonna chew that up.
I feel like you need to keep this Roserade around for the Keldeo. You kind of like pick one to it.
And no, 100%, especially if it is like a Scarf Keldeo or something like that. I mean, he did end up getting that poison on it, and with these spikes, it will wear itself down, which I think is important. I know Patmac has like shown a tendency to run leftovers to Keldeo a lot this season, and I don't believe we saw an item up to this point, so it could be that. But these two spikes are still going to be really, really nice. Getting this half approach.
You can still synth to stay healthy too. It's not like permanent chip. Unlike
the only issue is you're running out of those synths, and I don't know if you can synth off all of this damage long term. So maybe synthing up and getting up to a range of about half, to where we're not too KO'd by a water move by a Keldeo or something like that might be beneficial. But he is going to struggle to stay out of range of this thing. We do see another Dragon Pulse come out here from the Dragalge, going to bring it down to about 54. So it's just missing out on the 2-hit KO, but Synthesis is a limited PP move. What do you think Josh's play is once he ends up giving up this Pokemon or pivoting out? What do you think his pivot into this Mon really is?
You can try to get aggro, get the Dialga in. It shouldn't take too much from a Dragon Pulse, and then just like get in a commanding position. But he's kind of more of a defensive Dialga. And T-Spike scope, I feel like now is when you want to pivot out.
Oh yeah, you need to
if you're
save
Josh.
this. You save this so that you can obviously get rid of those a little bit later, and you're healthy enough now. I do agree, maybe a Dialga play is a little bit better. He's actually going to stay in Sludge Bomb, which is a very interesting play. Maybe getting a Scout and Gauge on its item, but you can't even really gauge and see if it's AV, because obviously we know it's not AV, it just set up T-Spikes. So this is a pretty interesting play by Josh here. It's actually going to do more than I really initially thought. As he gets up the second layer of T-Spikes.
Second layer?
Which
I don't know if that was needed.
Definitely good positioning for Josh if he ends up switching out finally, because I think you do want to get these away.
And Black Sludge is revealed, that's fine.
He's just going to spend
another one.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know the sequence. Rosary is so important here.
Especially with those spikes. This thing later on isn't as good of a switch in. We are going to see a flip turn, so for some reason Patmac elects to switch out. I don't think he needed to do that either, in complete honesty. He's already burned, I believe, 3 synthesis, at least 2, maybe 4. I haven't kept great count, but he only has 8 of them. You win that War of Attrition very easily, and you have plenty of PP to spare.
And now
we
this
are going
thing's
to
in.
see the Boots Cinderace. Now, what's your play here with these 2 T-Spikes up? This is a bit tough for you to deal with.
Yeah. I feel like you kind of just have to like pick something, right? Or you could go Milo and then scare it out, but then you're toxic on your Milo, and I don't think you want that.
With Milo though, I think that might be his play, because I think that's how you get that surprise factor going. Because if I'm I almost said Cherry, if I'm Patmac, I'm seeing I get that chip and I'm getting that fat U-turn off.
And then you just U-turn, yeah.
Yeah, and you're still not giving up that illusion of what your item is, which I think is still really important, because he actually elects to just go raw for the U-turn, so that's not the worst positioning for Josh in the world. Depending on what he ends up going into, and he could potentially get free rocks here. Dialga is such a scary Uber, not in the sense that it's going to 6-0 teams, but what do you have to Oko this thing, man? Not a lot. Nobody really does. So, and it could be potentially Ice Beam for the Landorus. We are going to see the Keldeo come out, and this is actually phenomenal positioning for Josh.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if I agree with the Keldeo coming out here, because you just get that Rose Raid back in, and those T-Spikes that you just set up don't matter at all anymore. But you do kind of just get to flip back into that Cinderace, which is another good thing. But the T-Spikes will be gone, so the Milo, I think, can be happier to pivot in.
Another potential play from Josh would be to just T-Bolt. He is going to be, obviously, Chople Berry in this matchup, so he could just take this thing out right now. But I do think it is smart to, think long-term, get rid of those T-Spikes. He is going to Secret Sword, and again, that's fine. Now, if I am Josh right here, you're still in a tough spot, really, because that flip turn is pretty free to come out from Patmac's side.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe you can double, but there's always just like flip turn, especially because it's already poisoned. Yeah, just get up a 3rd layer of spikes, I think is fine.
Oh, 100%. I'm getting up my 3rd layer. He's actually going to Electric Sludge Bomb just to pepper down that Dragalge, which I suppose is fair. We do obviously confirm, too, that Keldeo was not choiced in the sequence of moves that it did end up clicking. I don't believe I saw leftovers. I could be tripping. But we do see it, obviously, click Secret Score and then flip turn out. But it took a ton of chip with taking those 2 spikes in that poison turn. And whatever comes in, it's got to take those spikes unless it's Landorus. And if it's Landorus, it's risking that poison, which, again, could be really clutch for Josh. And again, wearing down this team into that Scarf Milotic range, which I really do want to see do well. And I will say, this spike chip plus the Sludge Bomb is, at the end of the day, helping out that Milotic endgame, as this thing is now at about 40% after Black Sludge.
Yeah. I think, like, long-term, I understand why Josh didn't want that 3rd spike, because it's Boots, Cinderace, there's a Vikavolt, there's a Landorus. It's not like that 3rd layer is going to be doing too much once this Dragalge and Keldeo are already, like, pretty low. But at the same time, it's not like Sludge Bomb was doing that much damage, so.
Yeah, I do, but it is more immediate damage and more noticeable in this point in time. We do see a flip burn from Patmac, and again, I feel like that might be a bit of an overplay, because you get a little bit of slow momentum, but this Dragalge's in 2-hit KO range, I believe, now, or very close to it, and you're not going to be able to Oko the Rose Raid coming in. So this is definitely interesting. We do see Landers come out, and this can potentially force a little bit more progress for our hero in Patmac right here. But definitely a rough start with these 2 spikes up, and really
Yeah.
this Roserade putting in overtime and chipping down mons that it's really not supposed to. So say what you want about hazards and boots and everything like that, the spikes are definitely coming up clutch this game for Josh.
We're not going to see a defog Lando, right? I don't think it makes sense here with the T-Spike bring, but maybe defog Lando comes out. So, like,
My
I
only
really
thing-
want to go hard Milo here.
Yeah, I think that Milo is just pretty drawback free because you do punish that defog. You punish an Earthquake too because you're offensive and he might be like, oh, 2-hit KO time, baby. Let's go. And then you can drop a big Scald as we're actually going to see a Moltres come out. And this is also interesting. And actually, it's something else to note that this Restock Nasty Plotting Moltres also does phenomenally with this Keldeo very chipped and in range.
Yeah.
We are going to see the Earthquake come out. So very solid offensive switch from Josh here. And it's time for a free Fire Wrath. I don't even think you need a Nasty Plot.
Yeah, I don't think plot at this range is really necessary, is it?
No, not at all. I would
No.
take my damage.
Yeah.
Especially if this thing wants to drop a big Stone Edge on you. You don't know its item. You get that +1 Berserk boosted hit off. We see that the Lando is also, in fact, not Choice Scarf. Does a decent chunk with the U-turn. Is going to get out of there. But whatever comes in here is not going to appreciate it. It might even be a Dragalge sack at this point.
Yeah.
You're going to see Pod
I
Racer
would-
come out. It's just the Vikavolt. This is also phenomenal chip for Josh. So, really kind of best case scenarios so far throughout this game. We're going to see this do about 35-ish%. If you're Josh, how are you feeling clicking Fire Wrath again, or are you pivoting out right here?
I think you pivot out. The Moltres is still, like, you definitely live a Volt Switch. I don't know about Thunderbolt, but, like, you just have such a free Dialga.
You do. However, my thing is, if this thing lives, it may be... Oh, we're going to see a Nasty Plot
Okay.
come out.
Nasty Plot, I didn't consider that, really.
See, in my head, I was thinking potentially Fire Wrath because you'll definitely 2-KO this thing, and I don't think you'll be Oko by it unless it's like specs or boosting item. But he's going to get an aggressive Nasty Plot off as these sticky webs go out. These sticky webs that Patmac has loved throughout the season. And we're going to see another Fire Wrath come out, and this is a KO. This should take out the Vikavolt, unless my head calcs are off. This should take this thing down and really put on the hurt on his team potentially afterwards. We are going to see the Fire Wrath knock out the Vikavolt, and we have our first KO of the game for Josh right here. And it's really just a matter to see what comes in now.
The webs are here to stay, right? Josh didn't pack any removal
I
on
do
his
not
team.
believe he did, no. But it also makes that Milotic
It makes the Milo
ridiculously
+2, yeah.
scary. Ridiculously
Now it can't
scary.
lure the Cinderace as well, though, because it's not going to be faster anymore. But it's still +2 Scalds coming out, +2 Ice Beams coming out.
See, if I'm Josh right here, I'm potentially throwing off another Fire Wrath. I don't think this thing has anything to Oko this Pokemon right here. It is a Boots variant, so I don't think a decently bulky enough Molt is going to die. As we do see that come out, it's going to get a Berserk boost, and this is
That's
about...
a Cinderace, right?
Yeah, this is about 10 dead Cinderaces right here, which is really clutch, honestly. So, very good stuff for Josh right here. Yeah, we'll see what he ends up electing to go into right here to revenge his Molt. But Molt's put in overtime, man. I don't think you could ask much more from this. And we see that the Lugia didn't come, so I don't know if this is a bad thing. Like, I don't know if we can necessarily be upset that our Molt's gone. It's done its job. It's punched a hole through this team. It doesn't need to really be here to check much else. Grimmsnarl is going to come out. And potentially, I might even try and rest up right here, to be completely honest.
I think you can definitely rest in Scout. It's not like this thing can do any prankster moves to. Yeah, it does like quadras this. You can't really get through it, but it's still rest to stay healthy throughout the game.
Mm-hmm.
I might be worried about screens, but even then, rest can start like burning turns of screens. So
Screens are going up regardless of whether or not you click
Yeah.
rest or not. So I think rest might be a nice play, because even if you are quad resisted, +3 Fire Wrath, and it's a Grimmsnarl, unfortunately. As much as a cool utility Pokemon it is, it's not the bulkiest fairy in the world. So I
still
don't
quad
know.
resisted.
Yeah, how much this is really going to hurt him. We are going to see the rest come out from Josh, which is definitely a very solid play in my opinion. And then we're going to see what the Grimmsnarl ends up going for. It looks like it is going to be an attack. Obviously, no pranks or screens end up coming out right there. If it's Spirit Break, it's a little unfortunate. We're going to see a Play Rough, and this thing is going to bring it down really low, unfortunately. We're going to see it get up to +4, though, with that Berserk, so you could potentially get up to +4 Fire Wrath, and I don't think that's a bad thing in the slightest. We're going to see the leftovers come out from the Grimmsnarl, so this could potentially be a bulk-up variant, which is something interesting to note as well. You just click Sleep Talk if you're Josh right here, and you hope for the best.
I think you're fine. Just clicking Sleep Talk, fine,
with that
sacking off the
Flish
Moltres.
I wonder how much this really does depending on the spread of the Grimmsnarl. He might be pretty spadef if he is a bulk up variant. He is going to get rest though, so we're not going to find out, unfortunately, as we do see another play rough come out, connect, and knock out the Moltres. But like I said, it put in more than enough work in my opinion.
Yeah. And now I get Dialga pretty freely. Get up Rock if that's what you want to do, or get off an attack.
Flash Cannon is pretty much unresisted at this point. There's a Cinderace, I suppose.
And there's a Keldeo. There's a Keldeo. Cinderace is dead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Cinderace did die. You're right. So there really isn't a great resist at all, actually. I feel like Flash Cannon is just a free KO at this point. Because the Vikvolt's down too. Josh is in an incredibly commanding position. He might not even need to use the Scarf Milotic to his benefit, which I would love to see, and I actually do think it can just win the game at this point.
Yeah, but I think you can just Flash Cannon into T-Bolt. I don't think he expects the Chocolate Berry. He went to try to Secret Sword it earlier, but Josh switched.
And even if he does, I don't think he's in a position where he can really play around it. If you Flash Cannon this thing, he goes Keldeo. He might even die after the poison plus the 2 spikes. I don't remember how low he is, but I remember it being pretty considerably low. We are going to see Colt come out. Let's see going to be it? We're going to see it's going to bring it down to about 40-ish%, maybe even 35. We're going to see a Flash Cannon come out. This is a resistant hit, but this is a Dialga. And just kidding, I was 100% wrong. That munched that hit up. Absolutely chewed it up.
Doesn't taste the second, though.
He doesn't switch back in, which is nice. So this is a dead Keldeo. In my opinion, you potentially just go into your Rose Raid. You can go into your Mew potentially and just Vacuum Wave afterwards. But I like keeping health on the Mew because I believe it is Ice Beam for that Landorus, and you always take 1 hit. Same thing with this Dialga. It's nice to keep around because it just eats up that Grimmsnarl. So I think Rose Raid is a very safe play, and you can kind of just attack what's in front of you until this thing dies. And again, just be put in a position where you win the game. I don't see a very bad position for Josh from here. He'd have to either get incredibly unlucky or just not think very well at all going forward. We're going to see the Secret Sword come out, and that's actually a big chunk of damage. If those Black Sludge wasn't there, that's potential to a KO depending on the spreads and the rolls that got. We are going to see the Keldeo get brought down really low. You're going to see a very free synthesis from Josh here.
Is that 1 HP? Gotta be.
Very close to it at the very least.
Yeah.
But yeah, free synth here. I don't
probably just Cynthia.
Spike doesn't benefit you really at this point. You have a Landorus in the back. You have this thing that already dies. You have the very, very low Dragalge, as he is going to Icy Wind. And that will definitely take out the Rose Raid from this range, will it not?
Right.
No, Secret Sword actually looks like it does more. So the Icy Wind coming out is actually going to be tough for Patmac here. He does go with the other Spike, and that's potentially nice for the Dragalge, I suppose, with that Milotic endgame in mind. However, I don't know if that matters too much because Milotic's never dying from 1 hit from a Dragon Pulsing non-spec Dragalge, even after a little bit of chip. So, regardless, he does have the Rose Raid out here, and he can just kind of attack whatever's in front of him going forward.
Yeah, no need for the Rose Raid anymore.
Out comes
Xander comes back in.
And I'm just sacking this thing off, getting us as much damage as humanly possible, and trying to get into my Milotic to do some damage. We're gonna see an Energy Ball most likely.
The water resists are all gone. Yeah, I think it's Milotic time after this. Yeah.
We are going to see the Earthquake come out, knock out this Rose Raid, and I think it's Milotic time. I'm pretty sure it cleans up the rest of this game, which is really, really awesome to see. Because I don't think the Dragalge plus the Grimmsnarl is going to be able to deal with it, and because it's Scarf, he'll probably outspeed the Grimmsnarl, to be completely honest. He's going to be at +2. These +2 Surfs are going to sting. Oh, he can actually potentially lock Ice Beam too, but I think Surf is just your overall safest play.
No reason not to.
That Grimmsnarl, yeah, because the Dragalge is so low too. It's not like it's going to beat you long term when you have your Dialga in the back and other big threats. So he is actually going to click Ice Beam, I believe. But I do think that Surf was pretty free. But I think +2 Ice Beam will still definitely 2-hit KO Grimmsnarl. So that might not be the end of the world. And he's definitely going to be faster than an incredibly fast Grimmsnarl, just due to his Choice Scarf. So, not the end of the world, to be completely honest.
Yeah, he might even be faster than this land if this lander got like aggro creeping or just like really bulky.
Depending on Josh's
just like
speed
assuming the webs.
We are going to see a U-turn come out and chip this thing down like an absolute ton. Oh, that's going to be a crit. I was like, goodness gracious, I understand. We're offensive Milotic. We're not very bulky, but we probably shouldn't be doing 40% with just neutral U-turn, which is absolutely terrifying. We are going to see the Dragalge come out, finally getting sacked off. Oh, that thing
Yeah,
definitely
you
died to
definitely
a surf.
didn't need to Ice Beam.
Yeah, that thing definitely died to a surf. So the flex points, unfortunately, aren't going to fly here on the OG Albino Jesse 504 casting crew. But he does end up knocking it down regardless. I do think surf was enough there for sure. And we're going to see most likely a Grimstar will come out next. And if I'm Josh, I'm just spamming Ice Beam. You still have a whole pile of swine sitting in the back. This thing's going to come in and take 3 spikes. This is for sure 2 at KO range. And Josh is calcing something. I really do wonder what he's calcing. I don't think he gets out of this without giving up a little bit of differential unless he's really, really trying to choke it away. So we're just going to see an Ice Beam come out. He is indeed faster like we presumed and is just going to knock it out. No, we're going to see a power come out and a miss.
And
so
that's
Scarf
the game.
competitive Milotic is going to pick up the dub here, unfortunately, for Patmac. He could rest right here, but if he's bulk up and then rest is his last slot, then he is a sitting duck for 2 turns. So I really don't think it matters. I think Josh ended up pulling this one away with that spike support from the Rose Raid. Really, really doing it. Patmac super, super dirty in this game. And then cool things like the offensive Milotic really putting in a lot of work. And the Gmolt really putting in overtime as well. As down this goes, and I believe Landers will come out, and a non-crit Earthquake should not knock out the Milotic from this range. And that'll be a game.
Yeah, this is definitely like an important one to win, especially after I know Josh had like a really rough like 0-4 start into 4-1 way to end the season and make playoffs with some good momentum. Going in, some potential rematches, knowing what you did wrong, knowing what you could do better for the
another
rematches.
Competitive boost. This is gonna kill 73 land races. King of Draft League, who? But no, you're 100% right. I think the momentum is going to be really nice for Josh going to playoffs because I don't know the exact win-loss of his last couple, but I know he's been on a hot streak here in BBO, really since like the midway point in the season. So going into playoff with a bunch of wins is going to be nice. I believe that we actually are going to end up playing me and Josh, so I'm definitely pretty spooked about that. We'll see if we see any Choice Scarf Milotics in our game, but I really hope not. I really hope he ends up being a little bit more nice to me because I don't know how I'd be able to handle that. But very, very great game from Josh. We're not going to have a post-game interview, unfortunately, because we're narrating this after the fact. But definitely drop a like on Josh's video. I'm sure he might do like an outro after this or something like that. Sub to his channel, he's really close to 500, so he would definitely appreciate it. And if you enjoyed our casting, definitely check out me and Jesse's channels. I'm sure will be left in the description below if Josh is a really nice guy. Do you have any closing thoughts, Jesse?
Just like a really well played game by Josh. He got to use his cool sets, and like I know sometimes those over engineered sets, they're like I said, over engineered, don't get to do what they want, but he actually got to do what he wanted, which always feels good.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in round 1 of BBL playoffs next week. Later.
Because he killed Rose Raid and he killed Moltres. My Pilot Swine never touched the field. My Mew never touched the field. My Milotic was alive. Dialga was alive. 4-0. Dub. So he ends up 5-4 plus 0. And I end up 4-5 minus 3. Alright, that should be playoffs. That was a hell of a fucking season. What is going on? L W versus 2 very good coaches in the league. I also, by the way, would like to clarify that I would be 5-4 plus 3 if I won week 1 and did not miss triple axel. I'm just putting that out there. Shout out to Milotic, by the way, and Roserade. The dream season. Let's go. Hello, playoffs. What is going on? This is so fucking hype. This is the comeback season. I have not come back this hard in a while. The last time I came back, the last time I came back this hard was OLT Harmony when I started 0-2 and then never lost and then took home the chip. New Orleans Saint Snow. Are we going to get another comeback championship? Teams that blow up the roster make playoffs a good job. Let's go. I don't know what you mean, by the way. You don't have to. What do you mean? Like, tell me what you mean. Because I'm dumb. I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm dumb. I'm now 7th seed. I'm guaranteed playoffs. I'm almost certain. The three of you can only be 3 and 6. Okay, hold on. A Praetor and Q. Oh no. Oh no, I'm not in. I'm not in. Hold on. Wait. Q lost. Okay. Spoilers. I'm guaranteed playoffs. Let's go! Playoffs are locked. By the way. Q, Mario, Amel, and Gravy are out. Whoo! Oh, okay. I made 3 transactions. I thought I only had 3, otherwise I would have made more. But I did make 3 transactions. I dropped Vileplume, Crocodile, and something else. An Ice type, Vanillux, for Moltres, Piloswine, and Roserade. And guess what? When I faced Mario, shout out to Galarian Moltres for finishing off the game. When I faced Matt, shout out to Piloswine for 1v1ing his entire team. And when I faced Patmac, shout out to Roserade for winning me the game. Let's motherfucking go! Okay, for if any reason, if the commentary did not go through and, like, the live recording is what's going on YouTube, thank you, everyone. I really, really appreciate it. Check out Patmac in the description below. Gotta draft him all. A really, really fun guy. His prep threw me off in a lot of ways. I did not expect boots. I really did not want that Keldeo lead. So much stuff. But I also feel like he kind of went easy on me because he could very well play me in playoffs. So, that's the thing. Had a lot of fun. Thank you all. Go check him out. Make sure you're following the BBL Twitter. Make sure you're following. Just subscribe down below. And make sure you like the video. I might also just like put this in regardless at the end. Just like this, like some of this little talk. We'll see. We'll see how the video goes. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, and I'll see you all next time. Peace!